Hey. Real Conversations, episode 30. I'm sorry. I'm saying it's fucking 20. It's 33.
I thought it was
33.
33?
It's 33.
Not 31?
Nah.
You gonna know when you really got a lot under your belt when you just give up the number.
Yeah, fuck the number.
Fuck the number.
We got Dallas
like
in the
that.
building.
Yeah. Yes,
Hi,
sir.
Dallas.
Hey, y'all. What's going on, y'all?
Shout out to Dallas. Bang,
Yeah.
bang.
What's going on, internets?
Real Conversations. We got a legend in the building.
I mean, I'm still alive, bro. Don't call me a legend yet, because I might walk
Living
out of here and die.
legend.
Okay.
Thank you.
A
Okay,
living
thank you.
legend.
Thank you.
A living legend.
You call me a legend, I
living
walk out of here, man, somebody run me over.
Nah, we got you.
All right.
Kevin gonna take that car for you.
Wow.
Thank you, Kev.
Oh man, listen, ladies, how y'all feeling?
Good.
Good. We had high numbers. We in our 30s.
30s. That's good.
30s.
Keep it going.
That's when it's supposed to get real good, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
Life's supposed to get real good in the 30s.
We
Nice.
listen,
Absolutely.
life gets good in 30.
Yeah.
I'm
I
30.
just turned 30.
You
I'm
just
32.
life is about to get good.
He said,
Well, I'm about to leave my 30s, but you're right. It gets good.
No, but it gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better because now you're gonna take in your 40s. You're gonna take everything you did in your 30s that you did good, and then you're gonna do that over again.
Shout out to the
Okay.
Boot
Right.
King.
Because the thing is, in the 30s, you're gonna take some of that shit you fucked up in your 20s and try to redo it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be like, yo, you know what? This was dumb.
Right.
This cocaine shit is dumb. What am I doing?
Okay.
You know, this is
I don't know
dumb.
about that.
Damn, not
This
the
threesome
cocaine.
shit is dumb.
Oh,
Hold on.
Now I got two unsatisfied women.
Oh my God.
Now I
Don't
just
do
gotta
that.
watch.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
it's nothing wrong with watching.
I mean, no, there's nothing wrong with watching. There's nothing wrong with watching.
I'm just saying.
Participating,
Listen,
watching.
watching.
I mean,
you
are those
know,
good for relationships?
throwing licks here, throwing licks there. I'm just saying.
I'm willing to
Just
try
trying
to
to
see
support
how
supporting the whole movement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pushing the culture forward. That's what we call it.
Right.
Okay.
There you go. Bang.
Okay.
bang.
Bang.
Shit. Everybody doing bang.
Oh
Listen,
my
Dallas,
God.
what's up, man?
I'm feeling good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm blessed.
Yes.
Blessed.
Yes.
It's a great Saturday.
I mean,
It is.
listen.
Weather's getting better.
Listen.
The weather's getting better for us.
Right.
And you
We are entering jump off season.
Oh my God.
you are ready.
It's upon us.
Yeah.
ready? Listen,
Right.
You ready?
those skirts is going. Oh, man,
They're
listen.
going to get higher and higher.
They're gonna get higher.
The
What
dress
is it?
wedgies,
What is it? The
dress
sundresses?
wedgies, the
Sundresses.
sundress
You already
Sundresses?
know
Oh,
what
that's
it
the
is.
best thing, the sundresses.
The sundresses.
Sundresses,
Boy,
skirts. I mean,
skirts.
when you are old prevert, even a long down with the
Prevert?
coat. You
Prevert?
don't
Say that again. I like
What's a
that one.
prevert?
Prevert sounds
When
sophisticated.
you're old.
Yeah, you don't mind it. You don't mind even a long down with the coat
I don't
because
care.
you still get the shape of it. You
Yeah.
still get the whole shape of the
You
thing.
get the whole thing.
Oh my
Yeah, the
God.
mystery is really.
Don't I see a wedding band on that finger?
Oh yeah, no, you do. I'm
Okay.
happily married.
Hold
I'm
on,
happily
hold
married.
on. You see one on mine too, but I'm thinking
happily
the
married.
same way
I'm
you're
happily
thinking.
married.
I'm just saying.
I just
That's
love the
good.
game.
How long have you been married?
I've been with my lady since 04.
Okay.
All right,
Nice.
we recently got married. We got married about 4 years ago.
Okay, nice.
But,
Shout out to that.
But we was together, and I knew she was the one back in
How'd you
04.
know?
Okay.
I knew.
You knew, so why it took you so long?
Well, I mean, we got engaged, and once you get married, then you really combine in families.
Yeah.
And I feel like her family was more like, yo, this nigga got good credit. You know what I mean? And we know he got a mortgage, but
Okay.
let's find out more about him. We need to have
All
years
right.
in with this guy.
Put the time in.
That's
You
it.
gotta
And
put the
so I
time
wasn't
in.
going nowhere. I wasn't going nowhere.
So tell us about you. You got a podcast out now.
I started a new podcast.
A new podcast now, venture right
Yeah,
now.
called
with
Talk
A-King.
Architecture with my man A King. A King is
Shout out to A King.
It's from the Combat Jack Show. Now A
Yeah.
King basically helped put together the Combat Jack Show. A King grabbed me up years ago,
Okay.
and back when YouTube is like in its infancy, and the only thing you watch on YouTube are cat videos. me
Now you
and
can find everything.
me and a couple of cats that
just
wrote
fighting,
weblogs
right?
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made a little group called Internet Celebrities. Ran around making web video,
Okay.
and kind of got it popping, slightly, lightly.
Yo,
Never got paid for it, but flew out to Utah to Sundance. We got it popping for internet shit.
for these young ladies who don't know about the Combat Jack Show, just give them just
I'm
tell
gonna be
them
honest,
because we
I'm
got
not
Dallas
that
in the
familiar.
tell them about it, bro.
Tell
like
me.
they don't know.
The
and I feel
Combat
like,
Jack Show was my
Shout out to
brother,
Reggie.
my brother Reggie Osei, who was a former attorney, music attorney, And when he had just got tired of that side of the game, he just left. And he was just trying to figure out what to do with himself. And in 04 and 05, this is like the halcyon days for weblogs. Right. So understand that music, we had gone through LimeWire, we going through Kazaa.
I remember LimeWire.
and music was being redistributed now. It wasn't you didn't have to wait for labels anymore. You didn't have to wait for releases. Shit was getting leaked.
Mm-hmm.
People was leaking their own stuff. So the classic channels that had been in place for the music industry were falling apart. Okay. So the music business was kind of collapsing. That's one of the reasons why Reggie wanted to get out of the music business. Plus, he just didn't like the grind anymore. He didn't like, how the fact is basically new artists are constantly being shitted on. Right. They're being shitted on with their deals. Right. And then if they can stay in the business long enough, to become label owners, then they shit on the next group of people coming in behind them.
Very unfortunate.
But it happens though.
It's a horrible pyramid.
Yeah, right. It's a horrible industry.
It is
to be involved in.
Sure.
So exactly, it's just like
and it's still collapsing on itself still
to this day.
So they thought they had figured out. We're gonna pay everybody through streaming. And Apple was like, man, listen, I'm not giving y'all niggas shit.
Fuck y'all.
People were stealing your music.
That's crazy.
Now at least I'm giving them a home to come listen to it.
Right.
Shout out to iTunes.
Right. Fuck you. You're not getting nothing.
Shout out to iTunes. What podcast you working on right now? What podcast is that?
We're calling the podcast Talkitecture.
Talkitecture.
Okay.
So the Jenkins and Jenkins.
What are we talking about? We're talking
about think of Howard Stern meets Star and Buckwild.
Star and Buckwild was so lit.
Star's still lit.
And
right
some shit called McLaughlin Group,
okay.
which was like a news show. It was a news roundtable show.
Okay.
All right. Ask your parents. Okay. Y'all too young. Y'all too young to know some of these references. Nah, I'm talking some old people shit.
Okay. Listen, but when I listened to your I listened to the first episode. I think that the funniest shit was like the Jenkins and Jenkins shit. Like
yes.
Like
I just bugged out because, all right, full disclosure, when I came up in your studio, like the central office, there's a directory of all these law firms. Yeah. And I was like, so I snapped a picture of that because I'm going to take it and Photoshop Jenkins and Jenkins on one of those joints. Yeah. Like this is the office of Jenkins and Jenkins right now we in. I done made it to the top.
There you go. You made it.
We talk crazy. We talk crazy. But Jenkins and Jenkins is our pseudo fake law firm that sponsors the show. Yeah. And it was just a thing that we riffed on back in the Combat Jack Show days. Okay. And we kind of carrying it over to this new podcast. But the deal with Combat Jack Show, it was dope. And we got to sit with, just like we're sitting in this room right now chilling, with a bottle amongst us and just having fun. We brought artists in that we were all connected to, that we were all big fans of, and particularly artists that weren't on a press run. Because when the artist got a new project out, he got to tell you, this is my album, blah, 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 blah. No, we didn't want to
talk about.
Yeah, we didn't want nobody that had nothing popping.
To promote. Or
nothing promote. We wanted somebody that was just chilling.
Right.
And we wanted to bring them in and we wanted to talk to them about the things that made them even want to be artists in the first place. Okay. What's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so we get
it's
wasted.
More of a chill vibe. It's not.
We was getting fucked up in there.
Yeah, listen.
I like that.
Reggie was a legend.
Yes.
And
he is a legend.
He is a legend.
Is he Haitian?
He paved the way.
I googled
for podcasts like this and other podcasts that's coming up now to make it to that level or even attempt to.
Well, I mean, listen, there've been a string of podcasts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that the Combat Jack Show really opened up was that the podcast doesn't have to be a corny forum.
Right.
You know what I mean? You bring in some dope personalities. You bring in dope individuals. Yeah. People that are living real dope lives.
Yeah. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then you put them in front of somebody who has a certified catalog of dopeness.
Mm-hmm.
Music, filmmaking, whatever.
Real shit.
Just real shit. They've been doing shit. And put them together and you don't even really have to talk to people about the shit that they're famous about.
Okay.
Simply because they're interesting people because they're complex and complete people.
Right.
And they complement each other at the end of the day.
I mean, sure. I mean, any artist, I don't care what field you're an artist in, your art gets informed by your life.
So give us a story. Give us one of those interesting stories, because I know you got a lot of them.
What's your best story?
The best story. Listen,
my favorite. One of my favorite moments. Because I got many. Shout
out to the favorite moments.
We had Redman with us.
Oh, Redman. Wow. He seems like a ball of fucking fun. Like
Redman was dope.
Yeah.
And people would tell you constantly, don't ever meet your fucking idol. Don't ever meet somebody you really
Why not?
have in high.
Don't
because
I feel like
because somehow you'll be disappointed in meeting them and finding out who they are and kind of connecting to them. They won't be everything that you put them up.
They would be.
Redman
so
was
you hire them
shit.
to a higher standard, basically.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't expect them to have flaws. Listen,
everybody.
So
has
don't.
flaws,
So
though.
so
I
don't.
feel like you can't put like that's the thing. That people are put on these pedestals because they are where they are.
So
but at the end of the day, we're all human.
Don't meet Fab because he'll knock your teeth out. Right?
I mean, I guess.
Don't trigger Fab.
Don't trigger. Right. That's the right way to put it.
I don't think Fab has become Fab for knocking people's teeth out. I don't even know Fab to be like that.
Right.
Didn't I
But
just
that's
say that?
his
I
flaw.
just said that.
So
Yeah, I'm
everybody
just
has a
saying.
flaw. That's
I'm just
his
saying.
flaw.
Right. And I feel like also, I mean, listen, people in a relationship. I mean, I am sorry that his wife or his lady got assaulted.
Right.
But these two people with kids between them have a lifetime of pushing each other's buttons.
Yeah.
Of course.
I said
Right?
that. I said that.
So
of course.
whatever she did to trigger him, I mean, he has no apology, he has no excuse. He must submit mea culpas.
Right.
But she also was like, you know what, I'm going to push this guy's buttons. Because again, when you have kids together, when you have a life together like that, you have been through
a lot.
You've been through a lot.
I wanted to ask you a question. Right. You said you don't want to talk about politics and shit because when the first intro you said on your podcast, talk texture.
Yeah.
You said I don't want to talk no politics, no relationships.
Nah, I didn't say that. We talking all of that.
Everything.
We talking whoever comes in there with us. If something's going on like this situation, everything. I like everything.
I like everything.
I mean, the idea of talk architecture, the idea of these spaces too, is like I say, to get a bunch of people here, diverse personalities, someone that the listener can relate to. Each of y'all bring something that a group of listeners can relate to.
Yeah.
Like any listener out here that's fucking with eyebrows, hard body. Two of the hosts in here.
Don't listen to her.
No, hold on a second.
Yes, for the brows.
Okay. Your eyebrows are crazy. On the low, you got the hat on, but I feel like you microblade.
Eyebrows are lit.
I'm
Okay.
I'm good though.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm good.
I'm just saying. I see it. What are you doing with your eyebrows back there, engineer? You doing something with your eyebrows too? Okay, nothing. He's doing nothing. He's just got good eyebrows.
Lashes though. Them lashes, I can't fuck with those.
I can't get with those either.
I can't.
They
like
will be in my
the
way.
ladies like to wear makeup when they come up here.
Can I tell you something? The lashes right now, because I was on eyebrows for a long time.
Yeah.
Really?
I was on eyebrows for a long time. And then I put all my duns onto eyebrows. So that ruined eyebrows, really.
I haven't heard duns in a minute.
Because all my little duns would be like, yo, shorty, your eyebrows nice. I'm like, fuck.
You said what? You said duns?
That's what I said. I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard duns since 1990.
All my chuns. All my duns.
Listen,
my little niggas.
I didn't quite catch that. I haven't heard that.
But you gotta forget, we talking with a living legend here, so he knows.
We're talking with an old motherfucker.
OG.
Okay.
It's OG Bobby Johnson in this motherfucker.
But the body ain't cold. Listen. So, but they ruined it. They ruined the eyebrows. So then I had to get on another wave. And eyelashes, like your eyelashes nice too. They're not overdone. They just right.
And they're mine though, but they're mine.
Listen. Can I just tell you something? All jokes aside, if you wearing it, it's yours.
That's true.
Like this hat I got on is mine.
It's yours.
All right? I might take this hat off.
Yeah.
But when I put it back on,
it's yours.
It's mine. All right, so don't
take and
that's for the listener out there. Whatever you wearing is yours.
You bought it.
Wear that bish. It's yours. It's yours.
What was some of your memorable moments working with Combat, man? Like with Reggie, man. How was it?
Man,
like
we had it
was just so dope, man.
We had so much good times. Even before the podcast popped. I mean, the idea of weblogs was the best thing ever because he and I both crossed paths without even knowing each other for years in the New York hip hop scene.
Yeah.
And because he was an attorney, he would actually be behind the velvet rope.
Okay.
And because I was just a fan or just somebody hanging out, I was on the other side. But we'd be at certain events, and he'd have this perspective of what was happening, behind, backstage.
Right.
And I had this perspective of what was happening in the crowd. Right. And we'd be like, yo, that was a wild night. Mm-hmm. And he'd have an idea of what precipitated the wildness. Mm-hmm. And I'd have the idea of, man, how it spilled into the crowd and what the aftermath was.
Right.
And we'd make those connections and be like, yo, that's wild. And so we just bonded and built on two guys who got to experience hip hop from its infancy. Because again, if you grew up, if you were old as us, you remember a time before hip hop, before it was the dominant cultural force of our globe, of our planet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. When fucking disco, around was popping. Okay, I'm talking about the stuff that y'all parents made y'all to. Okay, yeah.
Pulled up and he pulled up in that Cadillac.
Oh my
Pull
God.
up to the bumper, baby.
Bang bang.
With your long black limousine.
Oh yeah.
Grace Jones don't play them games. She was like, pull up to the bumper with your long black limousine.
Oh my God.
And your daddy came with them ashy ass lips and
Oh shit.
So what do you think about the state of hip hop today versus back then? Like, what is the
state of hip hop today is fantastic. It's fantastic. It's flourishing.
What's so fantastic about it?
You don't feel like it's watered down a little bit?
I mean, yeah, parts of it are watered down, but I could tell you that parts of it had been watered down from the moment it got put on radio.
Okay.
The first song I ever heard on radio was a song called Rapper's Delight.
Yes.
Yeah.
T probably know about that.
I know that one. I know that. I might be telling my age, but I do know about rap.
Y'all were tiny little bit. Y'all was made to that kind
I don't even know if I was born to that. Was I born
listen. Hold on. Do me a favor. I'm a guest here. And as far as I'm concerned, these two ladies in front of me are both 21.
Oh, I'll take it.
I'm 21.
I will take it.
Thank you to
Dallas.
Dallas.
I will take it.
All right.
And
as a matter of fact, from now on, you're always 21. You just might be celebrating the 10th anniversary of being 21.
It's all right.
All right. But you're 21, okay?
I will take it.
Thank
you.
But listen to this,
and
though.
I will take them.
This motherfucking song, Rapper's Delight, the three dudes rapping on it, they don't even know each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
They all get put together, literally pulled off the street and put into a recording studio and meet each other for the first time when they go to record. And the shit they're rapping, the shit they're spitting is from a stolen rhyme book from this dude Grandmaster Caz, because one of the dudes was cool with Caz and stole one of his rhyme books.
Crazy.
So the first time you hear rap music recorded and put through a radio, it's not even hip hop. It's some commercial shit. Three motherfuckers who don't even know each other
popped up and made some shit together.
All right, so the first time you ever heard it, the shit was watered down. Frankly,
Right.
Okay. Rap, or I should say hip hop, is one of these incredible beach, like when a big fucking blue whale gets sick and gets put on the beach, and that shit sits on the beach for the whole summer, and every animal comes and eats and picks off of it, and it lasts for the entire summer before this carcass is. So hip hop is really this incredible cultural blue whale that people have been able to pick off of, and it's still. They haven't completely picked off the carcass yet. One day the carcass will be fucking nothing but a bone. And then the young people who create shit, they will create something else. And all of us in this room will be like, what is this fucking noise?
I think they created that when they when trap music first came out. Right?
No.
You don't know?
Nope.
So,
Trap music is still pulling off the carcass of
everybody
hip-hop.
disagree. Fuck it.
It is. I'm telling you that when the next shit comes, you are gonna be tight because you're gonna be like, this is fucking noise, and you're gonna be on some.
Our kids gonna be listening to.
I feel like I feel like it's gonna be one of those points when it's gonna be like one of those white noise, like what's some shit.
That's what it's gonna sound like to you.
But
That's what's gonna sound like to you. But to these kids, these kids that make it, it's gonna be the wave.
It's gonna be the dopest shit.
It's gonna be the wave.
It sure is.
All right, so just understand it. So I'm just trying to keep myself I'm just trying to keep my ears open and my perspective open for when that moment comes. And yes, I mean, there do be rap shit that's garbage.
Of course it is.
Of course.
Yeah.
There was always rap. There was always garbage rap.
Hell yeah.
All right? There's a lot more garbage rap, too, for a bunch of reasons.
What's garbage to you? What's garbage right now to you?
Well, garbage rap to me
now
is something that I hear and I feel like the person who's put the song together didn't take time to study the craft of...
What art? You know what artist is that?
I was about to say.
I mean, do I have to name? Do I have to do that?
Yeah, fuck it. Real conversations.
I'm just saying,
that's what real
conversations
conversations is
rock
about.
names.
Do I have to do that? I mean, listen, y'all know what's garbage.
If you don't want to do that,
y'all know what's garbage.
name 3 artists that are current right now that you feel like
It's trash.
not trash.
All right.
Hold on.
You feel like
Bianca, can I say I like to say
if
trash?
If he doesn't want to state the negative, then let's state the positive.
Okay, positive.
So who do you think are
Shit
3
I
artists?
love listening to.
Yes.
In,
What are your
hip hop rap?
Right now.
Right now. My man Mayhem Loren just put out a project with Harry Fraud. Yes, Glass. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That shit is dope. Tanya Morgan. You ever fuck with this group, Tanya Morgan? It's a group, man. Them niggas is dope. Their last project.
Tanya.
Last project they put out is called "What You Get What You Paid For." Shit is fire.
Okay.
This brother Fonte, who was part of the group called Lil Brother, and he does some shit with the R&B dude Eric Robertson. They did a project crazy, but he got a project on his own right now.
Okay.
No News is Good News.
Okay.
That shit is flames.
New shit.
Royce the 5'9" and DJ Premier.
I've heard of
Dope
Royce
shit.
the 5'9".
Prime. Rock Marciano, his latest joint, The Bitter Dose, which is
dope shit.
Rosebud's Revenge Part 2. Again, these are people that be fucking taking the time. to create songs, to like you go to a museum and you see a big white canvas and a motherfucker put a dot on it. People be staring at it shit for hours. Like, oh, this is
interpret this.
Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm talking about people that take the time to put the strokes in, to put the technique in.
You gotta perfect the craft.
Yeah. Yes. So everybody that I fucks with hard body. And the other shit to me is just noise, or to be honest, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Are you?
What's your conspiracy?
My conspiracy is that, if I have $1 billion,
right,
all right, I'm going to take 500 million, half of that billion, and I'm going to build prisons all around the country. I'm going to take the other 500 million and I'm going to start some entertainment companies. Okay. And I'm going to hire people that create content that brings young people into my prison buildings. So I'm going to hire people that create content that makes people want to do shit that I could put them in prison for.
That's unfortunate.
Well, fuck that. How do I get more? I had $1 billion. How do you think you get to $1 billion anyway?
They doing it in Cuba now.
They're doing it here now. They are.
Well, let's be honest with you. There's no country on the planet that has more people, more of their population incarcerated.
Right here.
That's our one growth industry here in this country.
I can't even give you the numbers because I didn't do the research, but it's a lot.
Don't trust me, and we believe you.
But
it's a lot, and we believe you, It's the growth industry of this country. Put motherfuckers in prison. That's crazy, right?
Terrible.
That's terrible. Why don't we just make? Oh, you know why? Because it's cheaper. It's more profitable.
It's cheaper to build prisons.
Well, build prisons and then have people inside prisons make shit. Have people inside prisons make shit.
Exactly.
They become your workers.
That's how they get them. The 13th Amendment allows me to put niggas in prison to work and not pay for them.
But that's how you get the license plates too. Like you gotta if you look into the history,
you get a lot of shit
prison.
Right.
You get a lot of shit. I can get you to sew a jacket from Polo, even though you like Polo. Shout out to Polo.
Shout out to Polo.
I'll be honest with you. I imagine that some of the really nice things, the really expensive things from Polo, that get made overseas, nice sweater, nice suede jacket, gets done. Like people say, child labor. Nike use child labor. Polo use child. No,
I heard Nike used child labor years ago.
No, you don't use child labor.
What's up?
You use motherfucking political prisoner labor, like college professors that speak out against communism in China. Boom, put them niggas in jail. I'm gonna tell you why. Because a college professor is fucking detailed. Wow. That nigga, like children might have little fingers, but they don't respect the detail of shit.
They're gonna do it how they want to.
How they a fucking grown adult who is a fucking science professor.
That's true.
That motherfucker knows mathematics. He gonna sew like shit to precision.
So hold on, the detail shit is real. The bootleg shit is made by the kids.
I'm just saying. I like that. I fucks with that. I fucks with that. I fucks with that.
That's my own observation.
I fucks with that. I likes that. I likes that. I likes that. I think. I mean, because you still got to use the kids for something.
You got to use the kids for something, right?
Yeah.
The kids got to do something. They can't just live in this world for free, man.
First of all, kids never got to live in this world for free. Go back to Victorian London, and if a little nigga was bad or a little nigga was an orphan, that nigga became a chimney sweep.
Sweep that nigga.
What's a chimney sweep? That nigga have to climb into the chimney and get the soot out.
Right.
All right? Because that chimneys would get blocked up with soot. Have to climb in the chimney, get the soot out. Them niggas would be dying at 14.
Crazy.
Yeah, their lungs would be filled up with. Come on, man. Listen. And frankly, to be honest with you, if that's the shit that Londoners, Englanders, British people, white people would do to their kids.
Right.
What you white people gonna do to your kid?
Right,
exactly.
That's very
all right, more guns. More guns. We need more guns. We need to give guns to everybody.
Listen, hold on.
Guns to the babies.
Guns to everybody.
Guns to babies.
Guns to babies.
Hold on. Shout out to Guns to Babies.
They got that shit 1-800 cars for kids.
Guns for babies.
They got kids driving SUVs.
But
they got 5-year-olds driving SUVs.
That's a good ring though. Like
1-800 cars for kids.
You got
1-800 cars for kids.
Man.
Give an SUV.
You got our babies dying with no guns already by these cops.
Let me tell you this thing though.
How do y'all feel that would be beneficial?
People kill people. Guns don't kill people.
Exactly.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying.
People would kill people without guns.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to look at it
with
like
a stare.
With
a listen. I'm a man.
Yeah.
In my life, I've been curved before so hard.
Yeah.
A part of me died.
Yeah. Wow. That shit hurt, right?
You never caught one of them rough curves with like,
hurt your feelings.
Like in front of niggas, in front of everybody.
In front of your mans though. In front of your mans though.
You nigga not
like,
you.
Yo, like, damn.
That nigga next to you, and you was just like,
I want your friend.
And I got the fire shit on. Fuck this nigga, man.
Yeah, so listen.
Bye.
More guns for kids.
More guns. More guns. More murder.
Bang, 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 bang.
These kids without the guns is getting killed by cops. What you think is going to happen with the kids with guns?
Listen, more guns. All right? More guns. That's that. Listen, let's just.
So you support Trump?
Let's just follow. Let's just follow the trajectory that we're on, okay? Let's not try to get off this trajectory. Okay. All right? This dystopian trajectory that we're on. Okay. All right? We're headed towards the zombie apocalypse. Let's take the express bus there. Why are you trying to take the low? Why are you trying to just hit every stop? Right. No, let's be like the subway train.
Hit the local.
The subway train that go from Columbus Circle to 125th.
Yeah.
Let's take the express.
Let's take the express.
Let's take the express to motherfucking hell at this point.
He said to hell.
Well, that's what Trump taking us. I just want to let you know that.
That's what I'm saying.
Trump taking us.
Trump got us on a supersonic jet to hell.
Listen,
we was like, yo, we want to take a propeller plane. Trump was like, no.
You gotta understand, like when
we want to take a helicopter to hell. Well, Trump was like, "No,
listen,
y'all going on the jet."
I do believe in, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the NRA. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I do support guns, right, and I do support people having guns to bear arm. But listen, when you at that point, when you get ticked off to a motherfucker, and you pick up a gun, but you realize that you could defeat this motherfucker by hands, would you do that?
I mean, first of all, the whole idea of having guns anyway was created at a time when the government, the biggest gun the government had was a cannon, and to move that cannon around was a bitch.
Shit.
That was in 18.
So you was more. That was in the 1700s. So you was more nimble with your funky little musket. Right. That you had to still fucking load, single shot load. You were still more nimble. Nowadays, the government has a motherfucking drone. All right? So while you asleep, while you taking a shit, while you fucking eating your favorite fucking taco, that shit comes right through your window.
Shit's getting blown the fuck off.
That's right. And that shit's blowing that taco right
I know this
out your fucking hand.
Is off topic, but you seen when the medical examiner did the shots for Stephon. What's his name?
Stephon Clark. Yeah.
But like when he was like, "Yo, listen," he got shot and he turned around to his back. He got spun. He got spun by one shot, right? One shot.
Well, it's a hard body thing.
It's a hard body shit. So if he got spun and then they kept shooting, obviously what? They defeated him already.
Nah, that nigga was doing that. He was on some pirouette shit. They was trying to see if they could just keep him spinning. He was probably just spinning. He was out here spinning on
some fucked up shit.
That's some fucked up shit.
Does it happen?
20 fucking shots and no weapon?
20 shots, 8 shots hit. But do it happen? Yes. Is it something that's going to happen again? Yes.
Like, these niggas should get fired simply for the fact that their shooting percentage is so low.
That's what I'm saying.
20 shots, only 8 hits?
Listen.
That's under 50%.
That's not even half.
That's not even 50%.
Like, come on. Like,
that's true.
Give me some wild cowboys that can at least.
They thinking cell phones is fucking guns. So.
Oh, come on, man. They killing a motherfucker over a wallet.
That's true.
Exactly.
Remember, I'm gonna do Diablo.
I don't feel like more guns is the answer. That's
more guns is the answer.
Why is it the answer?
Because
shout out to Real Conversations, because we talk about every and any and every.
Honestly, inside this economic system,
right?
All right, this is
a fucked up
trajectory that you're following.
Yeah.
Okay, the trajectory that you're following leads to all of this. So either we gonna take our time and get there, or we just gonna fucking get there. All right, but this is the trajectory that we are going. Economically, we are all living in credit, and I'm talking about even the people that don't even use a credit card. All right,
that's true.
Our economic system, our country is busy borrowing money right now, borrowing several billion dollars.
Trillion.
Well, with $1 trillion in debt, but borrowing billions of dollars just to pay the interest on that $1 trillion debt.
Yeah. And I was saying a couple weeks ago that if they gave $1 million to every citizen in the United States, that debt will be covered because we'll spend it.
Yeah, but if they gave $1 million to everybody, then what would $1 million be worth, bruh?
Yeah,
true.
This is the problem. When I was a kid, we had a TV show called $6 Million Man, and this nigga was an astronaut, right?
Sorry.
And his plane crashed, and then it got all fucked up and burnt up. It was near death. But the government said, all right, we're going to use $6 million and build this nigga back. Build him back, robotic arm, X-ray eye, supersonic hearing, all kind of shit. $6 million now, that nigga can't even get a fucking 3D eye. That nigga can't even get a hearing aid right now for $6 million.
That's crazy.
Shit is crazy.
So money is all fucked up now. Can you believe that? In our lifetime. I mean, Mega Millions is in $1 billion and shit. Like, in our lifetime.
Didn't some chicks win the Mega Million, or they won like Win for Life or some shit like that?
I don't play that shit.
But listen,
I don't play that.
You know why you don't need to play that shit?
What Jada said.
Them niggas say, "Oh, my man, he went to Hawaii. He's chilling. He's living up." No, you're in a basement, burned to death. Ain't nobody trying to give you $500 million for life.
Them taxes would kill you.
Fuck taxes. I'm talking about giving you after taxes. It'd be what, $200 million, whatever.
$200 million.
Nobody trying to give you that.
You can't live off for $200 million.
Nobody trying to give you that. They be like, oh, he went to Hawaii.
You know you got to pay state and federal tax.
Listen,
pay everything.
I don't fuck with that lottery shit. Where they getting all this fucking money from?
True. Like I said, play lotto for what? Even though I ain't gonna be here tomorrow, so what? Shout out to Jada. Jada said that. Listen, I gotta put quotes to these motherfuckers. Put quotes to these motherfuckers, man.
All right.
Oh,
listen,
man.
these ladies got more questions. They like to ask questions.
Right,
I don't like to ask questions.
Well, you seem like you do today, but anyway. Today, they had a sneaker convention,
Shout out to her rules.
That's right. Shout out to her rules.
Shout out to her rules. Bang, 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 bang.
Thank you.
Right, get it. You got it all, girl.
Ooh. Watch that. Don't be nice, and then it's don't touch the O. With any kind of spice. Don't
the H or the O.
H or the O with any kind of spice. Yeah,
exactly.
Keep it unspicy.
Go ahead.
Right?
What's your question?
Anyway, we know that today was a sneaker convention.
Yes,
right?
it was. Yes, it was in Brooklyn.
How was it?
Soul Exchange. It was cool. It was all right. It's not the big one.
It wasn't the big one.
It's not the one that happens at Javits.
Have you ever been to one that was it Capcom? No, Complex had the
Complex Con. Never been to Complex Con.
Okay, yeah.
Never been to Complex Con, but
that one is the wave.
Complex Con would like you to think it's the wave.
Okay.
Shade.
No, I mean they would like you to think that. They would like you to think that. They would like you to think that. I don't really fuck with Complex like that. Although I will be honest with you, Complex can at times kind of dictate, what is popping in the culture.
Right.
Okay.
But they don't know the fucking culture, right? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that they they are not the ultimate arbiters.
Okay.
All right, but I mean, shouts to Complex, because they work hard for it. They're not working for it. You know what I mean? I mean, all vultures, even vultures work for it. Wow. You know what I mean?
Culture vultures.
Sure.
That's what Dame said.
Sure. I mean,
culture vultures.
Even a vulture doesn't get handed the meat. It has to go pick it. It has to go do it. So shouts to vultures also. But yeah, the convention today, cool. Man, I was with my younger brother.
Okay.
Who I don't really fuck with like that.
Oh, damn.
But that's all right. I mean, shit happens.
Shout out to you.
Shit happens.
Shout out to your younger brother.
Right? I love my nigga. But he got a gang of kids though.
Really?
Yeah.
How many kids he got?
No
he got mad
zone.
Kids and mad baby mothers.
Oh,
wow.
Shout
how many
out to
pairs
him.
of sneakers? You got more pairs of sneakers than baby mothers and kids he got? Or?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, how many pairs of sneakers do you have?
This is
I'm
What's
Several
the
hundred
collection looking like?
This
Several
is
hundred
a
pairs of
sneaker
sneakers.
king.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We
you're
need
a
to know
collector.
the sneaker king.
I don't
right
even
I
now.
have a
know.
lot of
A
things. I'm not a
collector.
sneaker king. Please, kings lose crowns. I'm just an old dude with a lot of sneakers. I'm an old dude with a lot of kids.
With a lot of sneakers.
Okay.
I'm an old dude with a lot of kids. I'm an old dude with a lot of fucking clothes. I'm an old dude with a lot of comic books still in this fucking
Comic
house.
books.
Old dude with a lot of motherfucking action figures.
Do you have them in rooms where you have collector? You know how some
Yes.
people take
She
their
wants
shit
to come and
serious?
organize your
Yeah,
crib.
what's
Yes.
up? We need to see the whole.
Right.
Yes,
shebang.
I do have my shit now. Now the deal is the apartment that I own. My mom moved back to New York, so she lives in my apartment now.
Okay.
So I had to
She
take.
fucking your shit up?
No.
Oh, okay. I was-
No. I knew.
We don't need this.
Trust me. I already knew.
Don't need this.
I already knew. So I took and consolidated all my shit
Okay,
to my bedroom.
Right.
To my bedroom. So boom, she got the rest of the apartment, and there's still some of my shit that's drips and drabs throughout the apartment.
Okay.
But I would get tight because I come there every now and then, and some of my shit be gone. I'm like, who the fuck took my
Where's
shit?
my shit.
It's like the angry
She
black
she
man.
gonna
Yeah.
play that
Who
every
the
time.
fuck took my shit?
Who took my shit? Who's
gonna
fucking
play
taking
that
my shit?
every
But
time.
between all the niggas that be in our shit,
Yeah.
Right.
somebody took my shit.
Right.
And the niggas get quiet too. And I'm like, yo, where's my shit at? Everybody get quiet. I'm like,
You start hemming niggas
I ain't
up.
been here in months,
somebody
nigga. I don't
took
know.
my shit. So, but that's you got to charge it to the game. You got to charge it to
Right.
the game.
So how do you feel
Shout out
about
to the
hype
game.
beats?
I mean, it's just part of the evolution of the thing.
Okay.
And
The thing. Okay.
yeah, the thing. The thing is, it all goes. All of this stuff goes back to I would call ground zero, black man style.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it was black men who put sneakers on with a fucking blazer,
Right.
and made because a sneaker originally was for you to do some shit in.
Right.
All right, it wasn't even a
Right,
sneaker.
It wasn't made
It
for
wasn't even-
style.
right. It was you had a
was
tennis
made
shoe.
for a
Now it's
purpose.
casual.
You had a running shoe.
Now it's
Right.
called casual.
Now it's very casual. But I'm just saying, if you had a tennis shoe, let's think about tennis, for instance, because
Right.
tennis shoes were my first love from sneakers.
Right.
And tennis is a sport that's not like, you don't just walk down to the big park and play tennis. All right. First of all, you have to have lessons so you know what the fuck you're doing. Then you have to have equipment. You have to have a racket. All right. You have to have balls. All right. You have to be able to go get court time somewhere.
Right.
So tennis, as it's translated, is a sport for someone with wealth.
Right.
So a tennis shoe is like, oh shit, you got a tennis shoe?
But I feel like us New Yorkers don't say that.
But nah,
Was
you
Well,
that
you
early
gotta-
on?
you gotta-
Right.
you gotta-
Yes, it was. Again.
I was about to say,
But
for
you
us,
gotta
we
look
don't
at it
say
early
sneakers.
on,
No,
I
though.
feel like
I'm
that's
trying to
why
tell
I
you-
said
look at it early on.
I'm trying to tell you that
Right.
I come from a time.
Called
I come from a
Like-
time before hip hop.
Okay.
Like you was raised
Because
inside of
for
hip hop.
us, right.
So
For
you
you,
gotta
for you
look-
it's sneakers.
So for us, it's
Like
sneakers.
sneakers.
It's
So you
sneakers.
gotta
I feel
look
like
outside the
other,
box and say like, all right,
In
bet.
West
If
Coast,
something
they be
came
like
out,
a tennis shoe or,
Well, West Coast and other places, West Coast, Midwest, they still kind of
They
brought
say,
up.
right.
They still
Right.
kind of brought up as how we was brought up.
Right.
but if you
Matter of
want
fact, you go down south,
okay.
they won't even say tennis shoe.
No.
Them niggas say oh, you got a new pair of tennis?
tennis, yeah.
You
And
got a new
I'll be
pair
like,
of tennis?
what the fuck? What?
You got a new pair of
What
tennis?
is
Right,
that?
yeah. You won't
I'm
even
like,
understand what they
the
say.
fuck is that? I don't
Hey,
know
boy, you got a new
what
pair of
that
tennis on? But oh shit, that'd be my uncle. Oh boy, you got a new pair of tennis on? I'm like, what the fuck is
What the fuck is that? Right.
Got a bit of tennis on?
But if you born outside the culture,
right.
inside or outside the culture
on.
early on, you will know like, all right, tennis shoes mean something casual. But like if you born outside and you know, years before, you would be like,
but tennis shoe wasn't something casual. Tennis shoe was some expensive shit.
I'm saying, far as now in the culture.
Oh, okay. Yes. Agreed.
Like
a tennis shoe was some exclusive shit.
Right.
Like most motherfuckers, for the summer, you got you a pair of like Skips or Keds.
Right.
You got your pair of canvas shoes. Tennis shoes, them shits was all leather most times.
That motherfucker got money.
Right.
Them, right. All white, all leather, like, ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
Since
everybody in the neighborhood want to come and touch your shoe.
Right,
like yo,
what size is that?
Since you considered I want to say, since you considered a living legend, right?
Right.
What was your first podcast you was actually on?
The first podcast I was actually on was one I was doing.
Okay,
what
was that?
Shit called The Internet Show.
Okay.
Back in 08.
Internet show.
Back in 08, I had hung out with this dude, Jesse Thorne, who you might know if y'all, any of y'all nerds out there that fuck with NPR heavy.
Shout out to Jesse.
The Sound of Young America. So Jesse Thorne, I met him in Atlanta one time. He was in Atlanta doing some public radio shit, and my man Rafi from Internet Celebrities was like, "Yo, Jesse fucks with us heavy. He's in Atlanta now. Holler at him." So I hollered at him, and Jesse then introduces me to this guy, Scott Simpson, who runs Apple iTunes.
Okay.
And we also go to lunch with a cat named Mark Maron, who's also a big podcast dude.
person.
So I just soaked up game from these dudes, and I was like, yo, I got back to New York, and I'm like, all right, fuck, I'm going to do my own podcast.
Right.
And, I mean, I got about a dozen episodes in, but, like you see how y'all are in a nice studio space?
Yeah, shout out to that.
Y'all have an engineer.
Yeah,
y'all have people that
shout out to Matt.
help y'all edit your joint down.
Exactly.
I was doing it all myself out of my apartment, and it was cool and it was fun, but it just got to be too tiresome.
Now, this is my second part to the question, because I like when you answered the first part. What do you think about the podcast industry now? I want to say industry now.
Sure. It's first of all, podcasts are fantastic,
and don't down us, because
no. Yeah, fantastic. I think you got a good movement here because one, you got these individuals here who I know have a nice following. I mean, honestly, y'all are both beautiful ladies. Yeah. If y'all wanted to be straight up IG thoughts, y'all would have. Okay, I'm just saying if y'all
shut out.
They like to be public figures.
If y'all wanted to go to public figures, right.
Public figure. Everybody's fucking public figure. What the fuck is that?
If y'all wanted to be public,
and now they're public figures.
If y'all wanted to be public figures, y'all could bubble.
I'm a fan of IG thoughts though.
Y'all could bubble. I'm glad y'all don't.
Thank you. I like public figures better.
Shout out to IG thoughts though.
But again, I like how you have different personalities and perspective inside the space. Boom. That's what helps keep the show interesting, and it's going to help it grow. Now, I mean, we have a can I say what's the word for a lot, a deluge of podcasts right now. Right. Yeah. And at a certain point, the people who are doing it won't be as interested any longer, and frankly, they just won't be that good at it too. So there'll be a culling. There'll be people that fall off. Right. So the trick is to stay humble, stay focused, stay with it, because these things are important. And the best thing about a podcast is, unlike the old radio shows or old TV programs, like Cosby Show, where you had to be in front of your TV at 8 p.m. on Thursday, or Different World, where you had to be at your TV at that time. Right. The podcast allows me to do whatever I'm doing and tune in when I'm ready for it. And then not only that, but I don't even have to consume the whole episode at once. I could catch a lick, half hour,
go back later,
come back to it. Right. So this is the best thing about this is people can get content when they want it, when they're ready to receive it.
Now, like, it goes, like, with me, because, like, when you come on, when individuals, like, we had Brother Chris come on.
Ayo.
You know what I'm saying?
Ayo, yes.
Yeah, Ayo. When I come on?
Huh?
Okay.
You know?
Wait, what?
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You on?
Internet know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Internet knows.
Pause, please. Go ahead, man.
But when you got
you were saying when I come on,
you ain't catch that.
You on?
Yes,
you didn't come on. Whatever.
Thank you. Okay.
Pause that.
Okay.
Slash that.
Matt. That's okay.
Slash that.
Okay. Matt did. Okay. Matt did.
Slash that.
On it.
But when you have individuals like you, brother Chris, that came on, who? You came on.
No, he said who?
Brother Chris came on.
Who?
Chris.
Who?
Pause.
Who?
All right, man.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But
crazy.
Shouts to brother Chris. Go ahead. I'm fucking.
He's dope. He's dope. He's dope. He dropped in from the Dirty Bronx, whatever.
Yes.
However you want to say.
Dirty Bronx.
Dirty. I don't even know what that means. The dirty Bronx.
But you got to understand something. Like honestly, Bronx for New York City is the most fucked up part of New York City.
See, I'm sorry, I agree.
I'm so glad you.
No.
Like,
First of all, that's facts.
I'm like, to me,
that's facts
like
from the New York Times.
That's
facts from the New York Times. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
Different world over there.
It was proven in the New York Times said the Bronx is the poorest urban county in America.
Like, to me, that shit is third world country.
All they
no
have
shade,
over here
but it's very like.
Listen.
But what does the Bronx have to offer? Yankee Stadium.
That's it. That's their prized possession.
Yankee Stadium.
What do you mean? What do they have to offer? Bronx is the motorized wheelchair capital of America. Like, Medicaid.
Hip-hop, right.
You said Medicaid is a high rate over there. That's what you're saying?
I'm just saying,
they got cheap rent over there. I ain't gonna front.
The most motorized wheelchairs you will encounter will be in the Bronx.
Right.
People's running around crazy with motorized wheelchairs in the Bronx.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm saying, listen, it's crazy because when this podcast started, Real Conversations, you don't look at the listeners, right? You look at more like what you have to say to people that's gonna bring them in.
Sure.
That's what you look at. So that's how I look at, Real Conversations. People that's gonna come in and listen to what the fuck that's going on the show.
Well, I imagine when y'all say Real Conversations, like right now in our public sphere, I feel like we're all kind of measured. And like people like to say politically correct, but there are certain ideas, unpopular ideas, that you can't go with publicly because then you face the threat of being shamed
or ostracized,
through different social media forms. I would argue like there was a big issue with Kylie Jenner was fucking with Tyga. And
wow,
and supposedly
the age difference.
Supposedly the age difference, but my question is when does a woman have the right to choose?
Right.
Exactly.
When
if I'm comfortable with this, what's the problem?
Right. And frankly,
but she didn't say that though.
And here's where
she don't have to. They've been together for 3 years? 3-4 years.
Why does she have to get public?
Why
does she have to get public acceptance for her relationship?
For her relationship. Exactly. That's very true.
But you got to understand the world that we living in, where it's like we go by public opinion.
But then why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? Why are we doing it?
We going by public opinion.
Why are we doing that? Why are we doing it? Because that's my point.
We rather be more hypocritical than anything.
Well,
right or wrong?
Then I would say, I mean, do you subscribe to that? Do you subscribe to that?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Real conversation.
Then right, but you're right. A lot of people do subscribe to that, and that upsets me. And I feel like we don't have a right to adjudicate anybody's decision on what they choose. But furthermore, I would rather a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old be dating a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old even than another 18-year-old.
Why?
Because
the lady's gonna know.
Well, because I don't feel like there's any 17-year-old that's going to be in a relationship at that point in their life that they're going to stay in. They're not going to get married at 17. They shouldn't. I don't want them to end up pregnant and having kids at 17.
Right.
And unfortunately, with younger mates, the 17-year-old girl ends up pregnant because the person that she's mating at that time doesn't realize the consequences of a physical relationship.
Older person has probably been through that. They can guide them better.
So hold on.
Now I know what people say is, oh no, the older person is the predator. Is somebody? And I say yes, but
yes
no.
Yes and no.
Because don't think that there's not a 16, 17, 18-year-old who can present themselves as somebody in their mid-20s that can present themselves as somebody more mature. So let's not always look to the older person as the predator. Again, I still understand how our society thinks and feels about this.
Like.
But the truth is,
but people have been doing that for years.
The truth is to protect women. They are more mature, younger than men are.
They've been doing it since the biblical era though. The biblical era. They've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for before all of us was born.
For different reasons. They've been doing it under God and things like that. But I'm talking about giving a woman her freedom.
Right.
Okay? I think a woman should get their freedom at 16 years old.
She wants. She's not objecting to it. Nobody's forcing her to do it.
I think they should get their freedom at 16 years old, and they should be able to choose.
Why 16?
You saying earlier than that?
No, I'm saying what is 16? What is
only
at 16? I was dating older men.
Only okay. Hold on. Okay.
I was.
only reason I say 16 is because think about it. When you 13, right? You still consider an adolescent, right or wrong?
Sure.
Right. 14, you still your parents still consider you.
You can get emancipated at 16, right?
Yeah.
My situation is like age is funny like that because again in certain communities you have kids, you have children that literally grow up, are grown at 13, 14 because of situations with their parents and their siblings. Where a 14-year-old girl might be the eldest of her siblings and be the caregiver, literally the caregiver of her 7-year-old brother, of her 6-year-old,
she's 3-year-old,
right. She's doing so she's already been put the mantle of adulthood and that's unfortunate, and that is unfortunate
because they're still not living out their childhood.
Exactly.
Well, I mean the situations of their family, the strength of their family, and that's another thing too. I mean, just
that's what real conversations is about, man.
Our whole society now. I mean, think about it. We went from a cultural system worldwide that was all about farming, agrarian shit, before we were ever mechanized. So that meant that when you was fucking, as soon as you could lift a tool,
finger,
some shit, you was outside
milking
in
cows.
Yes, you was doing all that kind of shit, all that kind of production, and motherfuckers was having families with 25 kids, too, because that was your workforce.
That was your workforce. That was the people that you used grinding and putting and pushing the shit like that.
That was your workforce, and that was your immediate community, and so. We entered a world where we are so highly mechanized, so highly industrialized that we are keeping these kids in these school settings, in past their teens, into their 20s, making them go to graduate schools, making them pay for wild college and wild shit. And then when they come out of that shit, I don't even have a job for you.
They got nothing, right?
I don't even have a job for you.
It's nothing for you because of our economic system is so watered down. I would like our hip hop is watered down.
I mean, frankly, and labor for shit for making shit is either done through prisons or done overseas, where the company can maximize the profit on the labor.
Exactly. So if you can get 45 people instead of having this one person make $65,000 a year, you can have one person working 20-hour shifts making $5 an hour.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Sure.
Right?
Or really have like 5 niggas doing CEO, CFO, CDO positions, getting $150,000 a year, and then having 50 people, everybody getting minimum wage.
There you go.
So I mean, we got all kind of issues, but again, I point to the ideas that we put on kids now, and we somehow say, oh, at 18. Now you're legit. When in all honesty, there's some kids that was legit at 14.
14 years old.
And there's some kids that's not legit into their mid-20s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this thing that we put on people for age, I don't have the solution yet. I don't have the answer. Maybe there's a test to motherfuckers take.
And
if they pass the test, like, yo, you could be an adult.
Now
right
I
now.
know.
listen,
right.
hold on. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get the test. Right. We're gonna get the test.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just it gets crazy as time go on. As we get older, you get older, we all get older. Time it gets a little harder and it gets a little tougher.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to learn how to, persevere and make it through. Listen,
I mean, ultimately, yes. Yes.
That's the goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
That's all we're gonna have to do. I mean, real talk. What you gonna do? You gonna
no. It's not real talk. It's real conversation.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Real conversation.
Check the board right there. Real conversation.
Check the board. Bang bang.
Yeah, what's up
bang
there?
bang. Bang
Sure
bang.
is.
Bang bang. Listen, as we close this podcast, we appreciate you
Thank you.
coming on.
Thank you.
Thank
Dallas.
you.
Ayo.
A living
Living
legend. He worked with the best.
Kev, you're gonna have to step out in traffic when I leave in front of me. Just
Listen, if
So-
he
Look
didn't,
at me looking like
if he didn't, somebody else will.
I'm gonna have to throw
Listen.
somebody out there because I feel like a car's coming for me now.
my God.
Listen,
not me
because
and
we
you.
working.
Y'all don't call me a legend too many
we-
times up in this.
What's
We-
the problem?
We appreciate
living.
we appreciate you.
Living.
Where they can find your tell them where they can find your podcast before I go on to this little rant that I'm going on.
Okay, the podcast we're fucking with right now is called Talkitecture. It's on iTunes. It's on SoundCloud. It's all over this motherfucker.
What's the network?
The network is Loudspeakers.
Shout out to Loudspeakers.
Tons of podcasts.
Shout out to Chris. He need to holler at me.
Tons of
I'm just
podcasts
saying.
coming through Loudspeakers. Chris, holler at this man.
Holler at me.
All
man.
right. Loudspeakers.
Man, I'll play.
They paying the bills right now.
Yes.
Appreciate that. And but I mean, I'm just Dallas Penn. If y'all don't know who I am, that's cool. I'm cool with that. I might not really fuck with y'all anyway. All right?
Sure.
But if you want to know who I am,
like
then
the
fucking
oppression.
fuck with me. All right,
That's
shit.
right.
Come
Fuck with me.
him.
Follow you on your Instagram.
Dallas
Follow me.
_PENN. And that's the Twitter and that's the Facebook. I don't even fuck with Facebook. That's the Black
Facebook.
Planet. That's the Black Planet.
Black
Okay.
Planet.
Okay.
Shout out to Black Planet.
That's the me gente. That's the me
You
gente.
said that's the Black
We
Planet.
didn't even
Me
touch
gente.
on that one. But
That's-
listen,
Oh my
but
God.
I follow you.
Yes, sir.
You follow me.
Thank you,
I
sir.
follow you.
Um,
Of course,
she
you know.
follow-
I'm your stalker.
Listen.
I'm gonna follow you.
She's gonna follow you. Listen. This
I didn't even know Teak was my stalker for real.
Oh,
Like
I was like in your DM like all
Like-
listen.
every other day.
like now it's lit. Now it's super
now,
lit.
now it's super lit. But listen, real conversations. It's about any and everything. We just trying to push the culture forward.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We shouting out Plush. We shouting out
Plush
Duce.
Baca.
We
Is
don't
you
got
right
Duce
here?
here today.
That's right.
We-
Hood Rules
we-
Apparel.
We
I
trying to
remember
we trying to
about the
push the
beard.
culture
All right
forward.
now.
We trying to play new music. We trying to play old music. Listen, like I said, you got to understand that when we bring people on, it's for the culture. It's not for ourselves.
Dig that.
You know what I'm
Appreciate
saying?
that. I appreciate that. Y'all
It's
are
not
dope.
for
Y'all are
ourselves.
dope. Y'all are dope. You're dope. You got dope looking and sounding and thinking co-hosts here. I mean, listen, let them shut up. Let them
Thank you.
run up there too, okay?
Shut the fuck up and grind, right?
Yeah. Shut up and let them do their thing, man.
No problem.
Just here, make sure you just steer the joint right. But yeah.
That's what I do.
We got
Yeah.
him. We got
That's what I
him.
do.
Yeah, good shit.
Well, we
good shit, y'all.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yes.
you.
I appreciate you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's enough. I'm
That's
just
enough.
joking.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Don't.
Real Conversations, episode 30.
3.
Damn, we get.
Oh, it's 33?
We getting-
33.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Jesus joint. This is the Jesus episode.
Jesus joint.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesus.
33 is the
Jesus.
Jesus number. That's the Jesus number,
Hey,
bro.
and guess what? Easter is tomorrow.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy
Mm.
Easter.
Real Conversations, we out. Dallas. Say something.
Internets. Los Internetos.
One.